Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. And you know that one of the concerns that I've consistently had about the state of hip hop, which is music that I just truly love, is the direction that some of hip hop has taken. One in which we find ourselves in the awkward position of protesting violence against black men, but at the same time celebrating and glorifying and maybe even promoting violence against black men. Art does imitate life, and life imitates art. And you saw this week that the rapper Lil Wayne was at a club in Atlanta. His tour bus got shot up, and you can't disconnect this shooting to the very violent content that Lil Wayne has been promoting for much of his career. So to really dig into this, I wanted to talk to my friend, who I consider to be a hip hopologist, the rapper and the activist Vigalantee out of Kansas City, Kansas. How you doing today, man?
I'm living it, man. I'm living it, loving it, and trying to discover what it's about.
All right, all right. And you're out there in the Midwest with another great artist by the name of Tech Nine, the only artist I know of who made the Forbes list without a corporation backing him. Are you cool with Tech?
Cool with Tech. Tech's my guy. I've been knowing Tech for years. We always talk and chop it up. We're two different type of rappers, but we have a common mentor. Thurman Mitchell, the late Thurman Mitchell, mentored both of us. So that's been our connection. But I tell you, Tech Nine has did what the industry hates. He was on a campaign when he was signed, with Warner Brothers and stuff. They held him back. He got away. He had a thing called FTI. It was called, excuse my language, fuck the industry. It was called Fuck the Industry. And he did his independent thing and went on a move with that. It was a campaign he did. And it caught the eye of a lot of people. And now he hooked up with a guy from, locally called Strange Music. So Strange Music is what he do. He got a lot of local guys signed to his label, and he's got a big corporation. And like I say, when you think about Financial Juneteenth, he is actually doing that. He actually have a brand that he works on, his music, his label, the movies and clothing and merchandise that he does to show younger people that you need to be more than just an artist that want to just rap. Back in the days, it was all about, I just want to be an MC. No, you got to be a businessman. You got to know where your money is. Ironically, when Lil Wayne started, he started as a teenager, and he's now a full-grown man, and now he want to know where the money's at. Why? Because at the end of the day, this type of thing happens with the Temptations, Motown. You look at it, it's always been there. If you don't know your business in music, you will get done by that same music that you claim you love. And it's sad that a lot of artists have made platinum records, but they don't own none of their rights to the music. That's sad. That is slavery at its finest. When you talk about Financial Juneteenth and liberation, well, when you don't make millions of dollars and you can't even buy a cup of coffee off the music you got, that's a problem. So Tech Nine definitely have beat the system, and I know they hate it. They would love to try to sign him. He don't want it. He just turned down some money. He was on Breakfast Club talking about he just turned down a major deal, because why would he do that? When black people are good at this, when we own something and it's good, the man comes in and buy it off of us, BT, buy it away from us, and then you could have made that money eventually and passed it down like the Ford family does, like Walmart does. We got to learn to do that, and that's really Financial Juneteenth.
Well, that's like when Jay-Z and Damon Dash ran Rockefeller, and Jay-Z disintegrated Rockefeller so he could go become president of Def Jam. So not only are you leaving to go to another company, but and giving up what you own, but you're not even the head honcho. You're the president, which means you got other people ahead of you, the CEO and others, that are kind of telling you what to do. But that's another story. Now, with Lil Wayne in this shooting, you actually felt that this is kind of a wake-up call for hip-hop, that this actually is something that goes beyond just one incident happening to one person. What do you think about that?
I think that we're seeing a pattern. We're seeing anytime you promote, violence, it comes back. Not that you can't rap. I like Scarface. There's plenty of MCs that talk about that life that, you can rock with. But when you do it with these young minds, because you look at all the killers in Chicago and really around the inner city, these are young kids mimicking somebody. You can't always, and it's also our social and economic conditions, but then they're going around trying to talk about busting people with guns. Think about how many people would really know about a gun, how to break down a gun, and you hear a rapper talking about breaking down the gun, different types of guns that you have, how you gonna kill these people. So you got this going on, and then what's ironic, like I said before in the blog, I can remember when Fight the Power came out, and everybody, was changing their consciousness, is wearing the medallions and all this type of thing. And LL Cool J came out with Walking with a Panther, and he had champagne in his hand, he had the gold chain on, had two women's right beside him with a panther, and he basically got booed for that. Why? Because the people was reflecting the music at the time with X Clan, KRS-One, Self Destruction, all those things. They reflected the music. And then what happened as we celebrate this great movie that's about to come out with NWA, NWA came. And when you think about it, it kind of swept away Public Enemy. Most people worry about what NWA is. You know what I'm saying? Besides F the Police, don't hate. I love the group. What did they do after that? See, we don't look at that part of it. Yeah, they talk about the police brutality and all that, but you can't. It's more to it than that. And I think it pushed Public Enemy message aside, and now you have the kids of NWA, Lil Wayne, and all these people that came under Snoop and all of them. And there's no knock to Snoop, because Snoop ain't even rapping that way anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I give him props because he understands the business of it. Ice Cube understands the business of it. Now Lil Wayne sees that, but what happens, what we put out in the atmosphere also comes back. So what he has to do is change in hip hop itself. We must change the culture. We got kids getting shot by police. You got people out here rioting, but the music do not reflect what's going on like it did in the past. It is not reflecting the signs of the time. Everybody still want to party. We want to, Mayweather got this big fight coming up. Everybody want to still party and throw money and talk about money and ignore what's going on. Besides posting it on Facebook, what are we really willing to do to make change? Why? Because the puppet master don't care. As long as the money coming in, and like Ice Cube said, they'll find a new one next year. And they've been finding a new one every year since he said that line. So my thing is, Lil Wayne gotta say, my tour bus getting shot up. Somebody was at my house, in Miami. I got this thing going on with Birdman and Young Thug, who got a lot of young fans thinking that they showing their allegiance to him. They'll try anything because you can get a rep off of coming at Lil Wayne or shooting them or something like that. And that's, to me, that's genocide. That's genocide. We are perpetuating genocide. And like I said to people, when hip hop continues to go this way, it's the gift that keeps giving to mass incarceration.
Mm. Well, it is kind of ironic that that gangster rap really did gain a lot of popularity right around the time that you really started seeing a lot of black men going to prison. And it always reminds me of what Malcolm X said when he said that the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then lock you up for being drunk. And you can't help but just really ask yourself, what's really going on when we got so much promotion of criminal activity, really convincing young kids at an early age that if somebody makes you mad, you want to bust them upside the head, possibly shoot them or whatever. When people go to prison for that, you put a bottle upside somebody's head in the club, you going to jail for that. You knock somebody out because it's the street code. Because I saw two young girls fighting. I tried to break them up, and I said, you over 18, y'all can get arrested for fighting. And one girl said, I don't care because the street says that if somebody disrespects you, you're supposed to knock the bitch out. And I'm like, do you understand? You'll go to jail for that. You can't do that. You're not a baby, And so it is something that we have to really talk about, because it doesn't make any sense when we up here trying to protest when police get shot or police shoot a black man, but we don't really say a whole lot when black men are shooting each other and telling each other to shoot each other. And anybody who says that the music doesn't matter, the music doesn't affect kids, obviously does not spend time around kids. You obviously ain't been around teenagers. I still remember I remember this little girl who was in the 8th grade, and she said something to her auntie when I was there. She said, yeah, my friends they were calling, she was calling me a thought, THOT. And, we was like, what's a thought? And she explained that 2 Chainz came up with that term thought. I looked it up, to find out where it came from. And then I remember another time, same girl said something to to somebody around me. She said, yeah, they're gonna beat me up because they think I'm a snitch. And you got little kids that are just picking up all this vernacular, this culture that's being mass promoted, and you can't act like it don't matter. And it seems like in Lil Wayne's life, I think Lil Wayne. See, here's the thing. I've always felt like Lil Wayne was smart enough to really know
Yeah.
all of this a long time ago. I think he just didn't want to hear it. But I think for him, he's just hitting a point of reckoning where, number one, you realizing you're getting old, you ain't gonna live forever. Number two, you realize you got children now, and your that same bitch and hoe and all these other things you were talking about some girl in the club. Somebody's now about to say that about your daughter. And these are people, young men you raised in a way.
Hmm.
The drug use is catching up with you. You're having seizures. You're going to the hospital. You might die any second. And then the financial side, you didn't take the time to really understand where your money was going or what was happening with your money. So now you're looking back over the years and realizing that the person that you love so much, baby, might have been ripping you off in the process. So it seems to, and then finally, the cherry on top to me is your bus is getting shot up because of this very same culture that you have been the king of. You've been the king of promoting this violent culture, and now that violence coming back to you. What are your thoughts on that in terms of just what you're kind of seeing, with Wayne and hip hop? I mean, are we getting the message, or is it still an uphill battle?
It's an uphill battle because I don't think the radio programming or the media outlets are give a damn. It was a gift and a curse back in the days when Tupac was going up against people, stepping on CDs and stuff back in the days about gangster rap music, And the thing is, gangster rap can't be to blame for everything. It's the promotion of the puppet masters that do this. And I think they don't care about that. They don't care about Black Lives because you can't tell me if we talk about Chirac. Think about this. I'm from Chicago. You living in Chicago. And we're wearing T-shirts that says Chirac like that's a term of endearment. That means that people are killing so much that you want to link it to, Iraq. And it's like that mindset and that culture that we go around and brand because black people are so creative. We can take the worst things, the things against us and turn into a marketing, dream, a marketer's dream. They can take the T-shirt, they can celebrate and promote our death. They can do it all the time. So I think that until more people wake up, which I think Wayne may have a Scarface moment. Watch the interview with Scarface on the Breakfast Club, and you see a different type of guy. But Scarface has always been able to give you both sides as an artist, kind of like Tupac. He could talk to the thug stuff, but he always gave you that other perspective. And I think that this rap thing is one-sided. It's either thug, but it's different. It's thug in the club now. That's the crazy thing about how it was in the 90s. It was more, thugs in the street, living the street life, but these thugs are dancing now. You know what I'm saying? They got women doing everything, so it's different. It's like for a guy out the 90s, it's confusing. You're a thug, but you dancing up in the club. So it's but that atmosphere, and now they making thug song talking about shooting niggas. Like, your song, oh boy, all this type of stuff on site. All that type of talk. These young kids, because I deal with them, I work with them. So if anybody want to challenge me, I have kids at this college that I deal with, and I know what they talk about, and they just think it's cool. And like I said, everything's cool until somebody says it's not. Everything is good until like Birdman and Wayne could kiss each other and was cool. Now that the money ain't going right, it ain't cool no more. You see what I'm saying? So I just think that hip hop needs to be checked, and not just hip hop, but the people that are promoting this type of thing, knowing right now you got people protesting in the streets, young black men are getting shot down, mass incarceration. When you start that campaign, it's a big business, and what is it going to take? We don't see people get killed. We don't see people go to jail. We don't see people that was falsely accused or something and spend 10 to 15 years. What else do it take for the black man to wake up? I don't understand it. What else do it take? Do it take martial law? Do it take for 1,000 people to get slaughtered in one day to make us say we want to wake up? What do it take? Because right now it's like a boxer. We're waiting for the knockout, but we getting outpointed. They made well enough. They output us. By the time at the end of the card, the black man done lost all rounds, and it's been a unanimous defeat against the black race. until we wake up. Somebody got to throw in the towel and say, stop this fight. Let's regroup. Let's use this education. Let's be like other people. Look at the other music. Other people in music can do their songs, go to the shows, and come home safe. Look at rock and roll. Look at all these other things. You might say, well, they got drugs, but they're not dying. They're not dying from gun violence. You're not seeing TMZ run out there after every rock star, jazz star, blues, or country and western. We're artists. At the end of the day, we're artists, and we got to wake up and do music.
Hmm. Well, I think that's right. I think that I think that day of reckoning is coming. I think people are figuring things out. I don't think every person's gonna get it. I think that to really understand this, you gotta do two things. Number one, you gotta care about other black people, and then number two, you gotta care about yourself. And I think a lot of us grow up with a low self esteem. We think that money should be over everything. Being famous is everything, even if you have to die for it. I don't think, for example, Tupac is one of the most celebrated artists of all time. But who would really want to trade places with Tupac? I mean, didn't he get? I mean, even before he died, he got shot in the. Didn't he get shot in the nuts?
He
Like,
got
I mean,
shot,
I'm sorry, I don't
in
want to put.
'94. And
Yeah,
that's what started the I think '93 or '94, but that's what started the Biggie beef thing because he thought that he got shut up by Puffy or Biggie. So that's what
yeah, when he was
started
in
that beef.
the
Yeah,
studio, yeah, and I mean,
yeah.
what kind of man wants to get shot in his nuts? I mean, I'm sorry, man, but I don't think. I'm sure Tupac. I can't speak for him. He's passed on, but I don't think. I think Tupac would agree with me that's not a good feeling. That's not a good life. And even Pac communicated, even when he was in prison, his
Yeah.
best interviews was when he was being honest with young black men and saying jail is not cool. This is not where you want to be. This life. I don't want to be in this life where all this crazy stuff's going on. I might get killed. And I think sometimes you maybe get sucked into it and you think that that's your destiny. That's where you're supposed to be. But I think if you know that you have a better calling, a better purpose in your life, you move away from that. So because I don't take pride in Chicago being called Chirac. There's nothing to be proud of. But it's funny because it makes me think about when people used to brag about Compton. Like look
Yeah.
at how many people been killed in Compton, and,
Yeah.
and and that ain't nothing to be happy about. The
Nope.
smart people in that community were outraged. They said, "Look, we used to have a safe, prosperous neighborhood. Our kids could play in the street. Now we got 16-year-olds running around with AK-47s." Then they found out that the reason all that drugs and guns got there was from the CIA. The CIA destroyed the black community by letting those drugs and guns into our community. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
not gonna talk so loud. It looks like you
Okay.
gotta go.
I got to get up out of here, but hey, but you're right though. That's the issue. People testing, but I think we hit the point is that we have to wake up at the end of the day. And my thing is, we put killer beside things, and you don't hear white people talking about killer Nashville. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, we got to wake up, and this is real easy. What we need to do. So I just think that if we do the right thing, boys, we can stop this. But Lil Wayne and hip hop still need to grow up.
All right, everybody. Well, this is Vigilante out of Kansas City. You can go check him out. His website is what's your website, brother?
It's therealvigilante.com, and you can check me out on therealvigilante.com or reasonforrhymes.com. That's reason with the number four
Rhymes.com.
rhymes.com.
All right, everybody. Well, good talking to you, brother. I'll let you get back to your day. I know you got to get back to your kids, so thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother. Peace.
All right. Peace out.